What's going on, everybody? We are live. Welcome into the live stream for a nice Saturday night NBA DFS slate. We got quite a bit to go over here. Some news coming in throughout the day, some injury news, illnesses, all that fun stuff. So there should be some usage opening up, and we have a special parlay play pick of the day for you guys as well. One that I'm feeling very confident in, so we'll go ahead and kick things off with that. We've been doing only a $5 entry for each pick tonight. I'm going to ramp mine up to a $25 pick because I like this pick that much. And that pick is going to be the Kyle Lowry over 26.5 parlay points and the Lonzo Ball over 27.5 parlay points. If you're not familiar with Parlay Play, they are the sponsor of this channel. Go ahead and check them out. Click on the link down below in the description and use the code KJK003. I'm actually going to help you guys out with that throughout the stream. I'll be giving you guys the link in the chat for that. And like I said, we're going to ramp things up and go to the $25 max entry for this pick because I'm feeling that confident about it. Kyle Lowry, Lonzo Ball, I've got them each projected for right around 36. There's no DeMar DeRozan. There's no Jimmy Butler. Both those guys should get a big bump up in usage, and for that reason, feeling very, very confident about this pick overall over here on Parlay Play. So go ahead and lock that one in. 2 picks to 3x your entry if you get both right. Really liking it. So that's going to be my Parlay Play of the day, kicking things off with that. And without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into this. We'll go into the picks for this slate tonight. But I want to welcome some guys in. Patrick says, what's up? Welcome in, Patrick. Claus in here, I see. The Prince, what's going on, guys? So, welcome into the live stream, and we're gonna get into some of our top picks here, figure out who we want to play on this slate tonight, and go from there. So looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too, and hit that like button if you do enjoy the content. Really do greatly appreciate it. It's gonna help me to continue to grow the channel. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this breakdown tonight. And we'll start with the first game on the slate right here. It's going to be Utah taking on Washington. So as far as this one's concerned, we did get confirmation that Kyle Kuzma is out in this one. That's going to make more room for Davis Bertans, Denny Avdija, Anthony Gill, all the above. But it's also going to give a big bump up in usage to a Spencer Dinwiddie, a Bradley Beal as well. So certainly something worth keeping an eye on. Because this is obviously going to change some things in a pretty big way for the Washington side. Like I said, Denny Avdija, Spencer Dinwiddie, both grading out as great plays to me now. Specifically, even a Daniel Gafford, I know that he's not directly correlated, but I think he could step up, and then a Raul Neto at 3-3. So Kyle Kuzma being out, certainly going to change some things in this rotation. And it's going to start with those guys. Bradley Beal up top, Spencer Dinwiddie up top. They're both going to immediately get some bumps up in usage. As far as how that's going to affect this game staying close, though, I talked about this earlier on the stream. My lock of the night is Donovan Mitchell on the other side of things, and I really like Donovan Mitchell as a play, but I was hoping that this game would stay close. Now Kyle Kuzma being out, that's going to make things a little bit more difficult for this game to stay close, so hopefully it still does. But it has gone up to a 7.5 point spread, whereas it started to a 6 point spread. I still like it. It's just we really need this game to stay close for Utah to pay off on their side of things. So it's worth talking about there as far as some concerns, but Bradley Beal, still going to like him even more now if the game stays close. We just gotta hope, guys. Spencer Dinwiddie, gonna like him a lot more at 5.5. He becomes a tremendous play. And then, like we talked about, I like Daniel Gafford at 4.6. He's just too underpriced. I mean, he put up 34 DraftKings points last time out, 4,600. He can get there in a hurry for you, so no issues going to him. Contavious Caldwell-Pope could get a bump up as well. He traditionally is just not a very good fantasy point producer, so I'm not getting quite as excited to be targeting him, to be honest, as I am some of these other guys. I mean, Denny Avdija or Raul Neto are going to be interesting options now for sure. But I think the biggest guy that gets a big bump up here is going to be Spencer Dinwiddie. I mean, Spencer Dinwiddie priced at 5.5, a guy that's one of the 1A and 1B options as far as him and Kuzma. Now you take Kuzma out of the equation, and I'm going to like him a lot. So he's certainly someone you're going to. Donovan Mitchell, my lock of the night. Like I said, unfortunately, with Kyle Kuzma being out, this game just became a little bit scary as far as staying close. That was my whole selling point on this game, staying close. Donovan Mitchell being a great play. Obviously, he's my lock of the night. I love the play. It's just things have changed, so hopefully this game still stays close. If it does, obviously I love him. I talked about it this morning on the video, so gonna like Donovan Mitchell a lot, and he's my lock of the night. So get him in your lineups, and you could just certainly play a Rudy Gobert, and then the secondary options: Mike Conley, Bogdanovich, Clarkson. I talk about oftentimes if you're paying up for someone, they're going to be a little bit negatively correlated. Like if we're paying up for Donovan Mitchell, which like I said I do like, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to want to go down to these guys because Mitchell's price tag, he's going to need to really dominate the usage and have a big game in order to do so, which means these guys are probably going to not do quite as good as we'd like out of them. So that'd be kind of my approach there. Rudy Gay is listed as questionable in this one as well. Just one other thing to notice. Joe Ingles, Eric Pascal could see additional playing time. Joe Ingles is the one guy that we haven't really talked about at 4K. And, 4K, he could certainly get there for you in a hurry. Joe Ingles can really shoot the three ball well. Should be able to play lots of minutes. If there's no Rudy if there's no Rudy Gay, he should get an even bigger bump up in minutes. And we should like him even more. So, Carter Robinson, welcome into the stream. What do you think will be the highest scoring game of the night is the first question. And what do you think about Caleb Martin getting significant minutes? Do you think he will again tonight? Yes, I do think that Caleb Martin is going to get significant minutes. I do like him a lot. I talked about that on my video earlier. And as far as the highest scoring game on the slate, man, I rely on Vegas data. Vegas is very good at what they do. If you look at the overall slate tonight, it's very clearly going to be the Sacramento Kings Cleveland Cavaliers game, which we're going to talk about next. Has a 223 over-under. There's no other game that's even in the 220 range. So I think the highest scoring game is going to be the Sacramento Kings at Cleveland Cavaliers. That'd be my answer there, man. And speaking of it, we're going to talk about it right now. So De'Aaron Fox, Jared Allen, pay-up options here. Rashawn Holmes continues to be out on the Sacramento side of things. We did see Marvin Bagley finally step up and get some big minutes the last time out, which is something we certainly want to keep our eyes on. Marvin Bagley, a very good fantasy point producer. He's just kind of in the doghouse a little bit with the coaching staff on Sacramento. They were looking to trade him early on in the season. They've since fired their coach in Luke Walton and moved on to a new coaching staff, so maybe that's a part of him getting that run now finally. With Rashawn Holmes being out, that's just something you have to note because if he's going to get that type of run, he becomes an automatic smash play. Certainly going to like him a lot on DraftKings and FanDuel. And Terrence Davis is the same way. If he gets a bunch of run, going to have a lot of interest in him. He's put up 38, 37, 28, 38 DraftKings points, and last time he did it in only 22 minutes. I think that he's going to get more run in that. I think a big part of him not getting a big amount of run in that last game was he ended up getting a technical foul. And I think they kind of held him back a little bit for that. I'm wondering if that's why Marvin Bagley got some more run too. These are kind of some things that you just have to, I'm a little bit skeptical on, but you have to pay attention to. We're certainly going to be paying attention to how the rotation shapes out tonight. So those guys are going to be interesting. Keep your eyes on the starting lineup as well. And, and then obviously De'Aaron Fox, Halliburton, going to be tremendous plays once again. Fastest paced game on the slate. We've seen them be putting up some big games, some big minutes. Halliburton specifically, only at 5'8" on DraftKings. There's a big pricing difference between him on DraftKings and FanDuel. On DraftKings specifically, I'm absolutely going to love Halliburton. He's 7'3" over here on FanDuel. DraftKings just make it really easy for you, only pricing him at 5'8", so I like him a bunch. In the fastest up-paced game. And, it's an automatic play for me over here on DraftKings. It's just that easy to be fitting him in. On the Cleveland side of things, I like Darius Garland. I like Jared Allen. I like Evan Mobley. Darius Garland become a very heavy usage guard for the Cleveland Cavaliers with there being no Colin Sexton for the rest of the season. I like Mobley and Jared Allen. I just think that they're a little negatively correlated, so I wouldn't want to be playing them in the same lineup most likely. Either play one or the other if you're playing multiple lineups. If you're playing one lineup, take a stand on your favorite one and stick to him. I will say that Evan Mobley's price tag is much different over here on DraftKings, whereas on FanDuel, I think they're a little bit closer, so it becomes a little bit more easy for them to maybe both get there. Evan Mobley's at 7.5 on FanDuel. Jared Allen is at 8.5. Yeah, so still like about 1,000 pricing difference. But still, once again, a little bit negatively correlated, especially if you're playing Evan Mobley. Jared Allen, if you're playing him, he's priced up. So once again, you're going to need him to really produce at a pretty high rate. So if you're going down to a cheaper guy, it's probably not really making much sense for your build. Then you have Harrison Barnes at 5.5, Lauri Markkanen at 5.5. Both guys receiving quite a few minutes, both priced in the mid-5K range. Both could be viable plays in the fastest up-paced game on the slate. So, Willie Hoop says, Ingles is too inconsistent to fade him. Yeah, man, he's been pretty inconsistent, but the thing is, if you take Rudy Gay out of the rotation, then those minutes are probably going to funnel to him, and that's where his consistency is probably going to, it's not going to be much of an issue anymore. If you look at the amount of minutes that Rudy Gay is playing on the season so far lately, if he is indeed ruled out. He's been playing like 18 to 20 minutes a game. You look at Joe Ingles as far as what he's been playing per game, like 24 minutes. It wouldn't surprise me if he sees like 4 or 5 more minutes, and that could go a long way in making him a viable play. Royce O'Neal, I'm sure, would pick up some of those minutes as well. But, yeah, I get your point. It's just if Rudy Gay's out, I think there's a possibility where that consistency can kind of straighten out because he's going to get that extra 5 minutes or so. So that'd be my approach there. Carter Robinson says, this is my first time watching your show, and so far I really, really like it. I love NBA. It's so hard if you do not do your homework and dig in. What's going on? What's going on? You have just wasted your money. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, you're not lying. You have to be at your computer if you're playing NBA, man. If you're on the go and stuff and you get 3 pieces of news that this guy's out and this guy's out and you're not at your computer and you can't adjust, it becomes difficult really quickly. So I agree, Carter. You got to be on your A game when it comes to NBA. Willie says Garland has too many turnovers per game. Yeah, I would be more concerned about that on a site like FanDuel where you get the full point deducted for turnovers than DraftKings. DraftKings, you only get a half point deducted for turnovers, so that's certainly a viable point. Just keep in mind the scoring format that you're playing on. Over on FanDuel, where you get the full point deducted for turnovers, I get that argument for sure because that's a big thing. The Claw says, doesn't even read the members question. Yeah, Claw, no, I didn't mean to skip over you, man. I appreciate you. Who do you like the best out of Tyrese Maxey, Aaron Gordon, Mike Conley, Tyus Jones, fantasy point per game on DK? So I'm going to answer the Claw as I always do. I'm going to answer your question based on a upside at their relative price tag aspect. That's kind of how I approach my tournament lineups. And you have Maxey, Gordon, Conley, and Jones. My favorite one out of those guys would probably have to be Jones. Because Jones' grading out is a pretty good play for me overall. He's just continuing to be a little bit too cheap. His usage is there. Tyrese Maxey actually looks pretty good, though, at 6'3". So checking my projections here, I think Tyrese Maxey would be my guy. Once again, at an upside at his price tag aspect. So Tyrese Maxey, he's only 6'3" over here on DraftKings. So he's certainly making some sense. But like I said, I like Tyus Jones quite a bit. There's no Ja Morant. And here's the thing. Jaren Jackson Jr. is ruled right now as questionable, but I think he's more so doubtful. And when I kick that into my projections, Tyus Jones is going to get a big bump up. So I think that Tyus Jones is the answer there. I know, I don't mean to contradict myself, but when my projections get updated, I can almost guarantee you it's going to be Tyus Jones. So yeah, that'd be my answer, Tyus Jones, because I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to miss. Tyus Jones should be an absolute beast tonight. We're going to talk about some other guys too, and Xavier Tillman on Memphis. Some other guys that should get a big bump up with there being no Jaren Jackson Jr. Certainly going to like that. So hopefully that answers your question, Claw. But yeah, so moving on to this game, Houston taking on Memphis. As far as the total on this one, this game comes with a 217.5, 8-point spread in favor of Memphis. So certainly going to like that. And as far as my favorite guys in this game, there's no Kevin Porter Jr., so Christian Wood going to continue to be an absolute beast. We haven't been scared of Memphis all season long defensively. They've been pretty bad. Looking at my premium content over here, my defensive half-court and putbacks tool, as far as how Memphis has been on the season, they grade out as the 21st best team overall defensively. Not very good at all. And like I said, with there being no Kevin Porter Jr., I do think that Christian Wood becomes a much more viable play here. So certainly going to like him. And the other guys on Houston as well. Jay Shantae's going to get a big bump up. There's no Eric Gordon as well now being ruled out. So DJ Augustine could get a bigger bump up as well. This Houston side is going to offer a lot of value. We're going to really like Garrison Matthews and Armani Brooks. These two guys, I think it can be top priorities for you in your lineups tonight. They're just going to be automatic locks. Now there's no Eric Gordon as well. They're just going to get even more usage. So I really do like these guys. And as far as on the Memphis side, like we talked about, Jaren Jackson Jr. going to be ruled out most likely here. So that's going to be a big bump up for Desmond Maine, Tyus Jones, Dylan Brooks. And I think this game could be a big priority for me for that reason. There's some very obvious usage bumps going on here for these guys. Tyus Jones, Dylan Brooks, Desmond Bain, DeAnthony Melton, Steven Adams could see some more minutes with there being no Jaren Jackson as well at only 5'4". He's been playing like right around 30 minutes a game. And all these guys are priced very reasonably. So I think we can get excited to play some guys on this Memphis side. Xavier Tillman, talked about him. I think he grades out as a pretty good play for me if there's no Jaren Jackson Jr. here. So he could be certainly an intriguing value play for us on this slate tonight. And yeah, DJ Augustine at 3-3 is going to grade out as a great play now. So this Houston squad is going to offer lots of value. We could also be taking a hard look to a Kenyon Martin Jr. And yeah, we talked about the Washington side with there being no Kyle Kuzma. They're going to offer some value. This Houston side is going to offer some value. So we'll get to the Miami side. They're going to offer some value. So there's plenty of different places to be looking to on this slate tonight. Feeling pretty good about it. Willie Hoops asks, any love for Dedmon value center on FanDuel? Yeah, I'm a little concerned about Dedmon. His minutes have been down the last couple times out. So I'm not too sure that I'm feeling as confident as I was there when his minutes were ramped up. Like looking at the game logs, Dedmon only 13 minutes last time out, 20 minutes the game before. Now, that might be some foul issues or something. You kind of got to look at the context of what happened. So I always try to make sure that I'm looking at that. He really wasn't in foul trouble last time out. And the time before, I guess he was in some decent amount of foul trouble. It still wasn't really. And both the games were relatively close, like 14, points or so, 10 points or so at the end of the game. But it wasn't a complete blowout. So I'm a little concerned about Dedmon. The claw says, Wood or Levine? On DraftKings, Claw, let's see. Wood or Levine, man? They're both really good plays. We're going to talk about it. I don't know. I'm not even going to give you an answer because they're both really good plays. I could see playing both of them as the problem because Levine, there's no DeMar DeRozan, and Wood, there's no Kevin Porter Jr. I'll give you an answer as far as who grades out as a better play for me, but I can pretty much guarantee you they're going to be right next to each other here because I like both of them. Christian Wood at 9.5, grading out is a good play, and then who's the other guy you had said? Levine. I think I would go with Zach LaVine right now. Yeah, Zach LaVine grades out a better play at upside per his price tag by a pretty decent margin actually for me. But when I say decent margin, they're still pretty tight. So I like both those plays though. I think your head's at the right spot if you're debating on playing both of those guys. Speaking of that game, Chicago taking on Miami. DeMar DeRozan out, Bam Adebayo out, Jimmy Butler out. Going to be a lot of usage to go around here, guys. Going to love a lot of guys in this game. Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, both going to be tremendous plays on the Miami Heat side of things. Getting a lot of minutes, a lot of usage. Should continue to really carry the load for this team. So those guys going to stand out right away. And then on the other side of things, Chicago, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan being out. Going to be a tremendous play. Nikola Vucevic and Lonzo Ball. Also really going to like them. I do think that Lonzo Ball gets the biggest bump here in respects to what he usually gets for, some usage and stuff. You take DeMar DeRozan out of the equation, I think he's the one that's going to kind of get the biggest bump up. Zach LaVine obviously going to get a big bump up, and Vucevic going to get a big bump up. They're going to just naturally be 1 and 2, but I think Lonzo Ball being the 3 guy, it really goes a long way not having DeMar DeRozan in the rotation for him. So I'm going to like Lonzo Ball quite a bit in this spot for sure. And if you're just tuning into the stream, just so you know, tonight my parlay play bankroll challenge pick is going to be indeed 2 guys from this game. Kyle Lowry over 26.5 parlay points. Lonzo Ball over 27.5 parlay points. Absolutely love this pick. I think it's free money. I've been doing $5 entries for this challenge the whole time. I'm going to ramp this one up to $25 for me. If we do hit, that's going to 3 extra money to $75 for the KJK DFS Bankroll Challenge. And I think we're going to. I've already got it placed myself. Absolutely love the pick. So head on over to Parlay Play. Use promo code KJK003 when you sign up today, guys. They will match your first deposit up to $50. And keep in mind, you get 2 risk-free $5 bets right off the bat. So you don't even have to risk any money. I didn't even risk any money when I made my account. But keep in mind, I was placing some smaller ones, only the $5. If you do deposit, they'll instantaneously match your deposit. And then you can obviously be putting a little bit more money on these picks if you're trying to hit the big bucks. I don't blame you. So that's what I'm going to be doing tonight for the first time. More than a $5 wager. I think the initial plan was to make it $5 per pick on this Parlay Play Bankroll Challenge, but the more I look at it, I feel like the people like to see small amounts of money turn into big amounts of money, so I'm going to try to do that for you guys. And I just love this pick. Kyle Lowry over 26.5 parlay points, Lonzo Ball over 27.5 parlay points. Lock it in. What you're going to do is you're going to head on over to Parlay Play on the home screen, go through that link that I just included in the chat, and you'll get the free $10 and the instant match deposit up to $50. Head on over to the NBA tab with the basketball. Click on the Heat versus Bulls game. When you do, keep in mind, guys, this is mobile friendly, so you can do this on your phone. It's designed to be mobile friendly. It's a mobile friendly website. You know, it's a IO application. So what you do is once you do this, you click on the 2 picks at the top there, more or less game format. You'll click on Kyle Lowry. Above his head, you'll see where it says points. Change that to parlay points. That's Parlay Play's fantasy points scoring metric. Instead of the actual points, we want over 26.5 for Kyle Lowry. Then you'll click on the shuffle button on Zach LaVine's face or whoever that may be. Change that to Lonzo Ball. Click on the points above his head once again. Change that to parlay points. Click on the over for the 27.5. 26.5 for Kyle Lowry. 27.5 for Lonzo Ball. I've got both these guys projected for like 36 tonight. So easy money for me. Like I said, I already locked in the $25 entry fee. 3 times payout for a nice $75 boost to our KJK DFS Bankroll Challenge. So click on that link in the chat, head on over, sign up, create an account with that link. It'll automatically use my promo code KJK003, or you can enter it in manually, just trying to make your life a little bit easier. You get the free instant match deposit up to $50. You get a free $10 risk-free entries when you join. And it's a fun format, guys. We've turned $10 into $65, and guess what? Our record is 3-4 in our picks. We just had a big one last night for a 10x our money. But, I mean, you don't have to be perfect, and you can be profitable. So that's kind of what I'm trying to show you guys through this segment. You know, I'm 3-4. That might not look the prettiest, but I've hit the ones that I need to hit, and I've turned $10 into $65. And like I said, that's the risk-free $10 you get. So I haven't even deposited yet for this bankroll challenge. You have nothing to lose. If you lose the $10 risk-free bets or entries, you know, if you don't want to play anymore, you don't have to. But if you want to deposit and continue to cash in with me, I'd highly recommend it. And I think this one's going to hit tonight. Very confident in it, obviously. It's ramping up to the $25. Like I said, I've got these guys projected for 36. Their lines are way too low over there in Parlay Play. I think it's some great value. So check that out, guys. And, yeah, use that link in the chat. Really looking forward to it. Carter Robinson says, let me ask your opinion. Lonzo Ball or Darius Garland? I'll go with Lonzo Ball. Yeah, I like Lonzo Ball a lot. So that'd be my answer there. And, yeah, that game, I think we did a pretty good job of summing it up. Zach LaVine, Vucevic, Lowry, Tyler Hero. But the one guy we didn't talk about quite yet is Caleb Martin. I think that Caleb Martin's kind of taking Dwayne Dedmon's minutes away. So if someone had asked about Dwayne Dedmon, Caleb Martin's my guy. Caleb Martin's going to be a tremendous play on this slate tonight. He was grading out as my #1 overall play earlier in the day. He still is on DraftKings at this $3,500 price tag. In my projection model, he's my #1 overall play in a multiplier metric. I've got him projected to 7.7x his price tag. So I absolutely love Caleb Martin. He's playing a ton of minutes, upwards of 30 minutes a game. Very good fantasy point producer. He's putting up 0.82 DK points per minute. So this price tag is just way too cheap. So I am going to like him a lot on this slate tonight. He's going to be a top priority for me. Caleb Martin as a value play. Tremendous play. Get him in your lineups, guys. And it's a no-brainer for me. I'm really going to like him. And I think he's the top value play on the slate. So I would not hesitate to be putting him in my lineups. And a quick reminder, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. That would be greatly appreciated as well. And we're going to continue along here on this breakdown to the next game. Golden State Warriors taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. This game right now, as far as a total, comes in right now with a 212 over-under with a 3-point spread in favor of the Golden State Warriors. So not exactly the fastest-paced game. I talked about this on my video earlier. I think that Stephen Curry and Joel Embiid are not really a top priority for me as far as pay-up options. Because, quite frankly, I don't think this game is going to be moving fast enough. And we talked about all these other guys we'd like on the slate. Joel Embiid and Steph Curry, I don't really think are up there. Like we talked about the Chicago guys getting a bump up, the Miami guys getting a bump up. Now we have the Houston guys getting bumps up even more with there being no Eric Gordon. Going to love that. The Washington guys getting a bump up with there being no Kyle Kuzma. So do I really want to go over to the Golden State Warriors side? I'm not too sure. I know my favorite play from this game is going to be Jordan Poole at 5'7". Grading out is a pretty good play for me over here on DraftKings specifically at 5'7". Certainly going to be my favorite play, like I said, from this game. And he can get you there in a hurry at this price tag. I think he can surpass it. He was priced all the way up in the mid-6K range. His price tag continues to dip. I think now's the time to take advantage of it. So Jordan Poole certainly going to be a good play for me tonight. Willie Hoop says, Kyle Anderson or Royce O'Neal on FanDuel? Which one has more upside potential on FanDuel? I would say Royce O'Neal for the time being, but if we get news that there's no Jaren Jackson, Kyle Anderson may get more minutes. Kyle Anderson's minutes have been very capped, though, so I'm just a little bit nervous about that. I mean, they've been kind of refusing to play him any more true minutes. Pulling up Kyle Anderson here. at 4.7. Looking at his most recent amount of run in these games, I mean, he's playing like 15 minutes a game. Maybe he gets up to 20 minutes. So I tend to think Royce O'Neal for that reason. But he's not really a good fantasy point producer either. To be honest with you, Willie, I probably wouldn't really want to be getting either of those guys. I think there's some better options we talked about. So probably a no for me. DePrince says Tyus Jones or Lowry. I think they're kind of in two different price ranges, man. I'm not sure. I mean, I like both. Just let me know the format and which website you're playing on. Do you like Kyle Anderson as a value play on FanDuel since Jaren Jackson out? I believe Self also asks. Yeah, I don't know really too much about. I don't know about Kyle Anderson, guys. I don't really know that he's going to get the big bump up that you think. I kind of think those minutes. I think Kyle Anderson's a trap. That would be my answer to you guys. I think Kyle Anderson's a trap. I think those minutes are going to flow to Tyus Jones, Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, Steven Adams, and DeAnthony Melton. Like, I think those are the top tier guys in that Memphis rotation. I really don't think that they're going to be giving those minutes to Kyle Anderson. And I do expect Jaren Jackson Jr. to be out. I just don't think those minutes go to Kyle Anderson. I think Kyle Anderson still plays, 20 minutes probably. He's played 15, 19, and 19. I bet you he plays 20 minutes tonight. He gets like 5 more minutes. If everyone's going to flock to Kyle Anderson, I would 10,000% be okay with just fading him. So it's going to be a no for me. Maybe that's a strong take. Maybe that's contrarian to the public, or maybe other people aren't agreeing with me, but I just don't like Kyle Anderson. I don't think he's going to get a big bump up in minutes, so that's a no for me. In this game, Seth Curry, Jordan Poole are probably going to be my favorite options in the mid-range here on DraftKings. Certainly like them the most in this Philadelphia Golden State Warriors game, so that'd be my approach there. Let's see. FanDuel, the Prince says, what's up, Tat? Congrats on your takedown. Yeah, congratulations, Tat, on your takedown last night, man. I heard you were able to win $4,000. Premium content members, so glad to have you winning some money. And like I said, send that picture over to me in the Discord chat, and I'll make sure to give you a shout out. Garrison Matthews, yeah, I like Garrison Matthews a lot tonight. I know he won you quite a bit of money last night as well. Now we get to play Garrison Matthews with no Eric Gordon, so I'm going to like him even more. So 39 minutes the last 2 games, going to be an absolute smash play. I like Garrison Matthews a lot, and I like Armani Brooks a lot. With there being no Eric Gordon, this Houston team already shorthanded. Now they're going to be having even more minutes, more usage to go around. So I like those guys a lot. And let's get to this last game. Denver taking on San Antonio Spurs as far as my interest in this game. This game right now for a total, it comes in with a 219 over-under with a 1-point spread in favor of the Denver Nuggets. So certainly going to like this game because it's expected to stay close. And that means that Nikola Jokic is going to be a tremendous play. Any game that stays close, this guy's an absolute fantasy beast. At 11-9, he's been putting up 62, 72, 63 DraftKings points the last 3 times out, producing 1.69 FanDuel points per minute, producing 1.78 DraftKings points per minute. And I think Nikola Jokic should be a big priority for you in your spend-ups tonight. We talked about all this value that we have. There's no Kyle Kuzma now on the Washington side of things. We're going to have value there. We have value on the Houston side of things. We have value on the Chicago side of things, the Miami side of things. Even the Memphis side of things, with there being no Jaren Jackson Jr., and the Sacramento side of things, with there being no Rashawn Holmes. So there should be no shortage of value here. I think you should be able to get up to Nikola Jokic pretty easily in your lineups, and I would highly recommend that you do so. And that would be, my top piece of advice, man. I mean, you got to get some Nikola Jokic in your lineups. It's going to be really good stuff. DeJounte Murray on the other side, same thing at 9-9. I'm really going to like him. So these top 2 pay-up options in a game that's expected to stay close. Very good fantasy point producers. There are no doubters for me. It's really just a matter of which slot you're using in your lineups and whether you want to prioritize the pay-up in the point guard position. We talked about some other values, Tyus Jones that we're definitely liking, and Armani Brooks. Maybe some roster construction doesn't lead you there, but I also really like some guys in the mid-range. Will Barton's listed as questionable, and he was downgraded to questionable, so I have a feeling he might be out in this one. That could make Bones Highland an interesting play, but also, more importantly, Nikola Jokic, who we already talked about, an even bigger bump up, and Aaron Gordon would become a tremendous play as well. Monty Morris. But Aaron Gordon would be the one guy right away I'm going to be taking a hard look to if there is indeed no Will Barton. Going to like him a lot. And the San Antonio Spurs side of things, the cheaper guys, they're kind of becoming a little bit too healthy for me to really want to go there. But Bones Highland at 3-4 could become a pretty intriguing play here for us. At 3-4 price tag, as far as how he's been producing on a permanent basis so far on the season, Mr. Highland, let's pull him up here. putting up 0.94 DK points per minute. So very good fantasy producer. If he gets a big bump up in minutes, he's going to be a no-brainer value play. So Bones Highland, certainly someone you can be looking to. And, that's kind of a last look at this last game. Jakob Poeltl and Derek White both priced in the mid-range as well. Keldon Johnson's listed as questionable in this one. He was more so probable this morning, though. He still is, so I'd expect him to be in. But I do think that Jakob Poeltl, Derek White in the mid-range, both guys way underpriced for their upside. So if you want to go to them in tournaments, certainly does make quite a bit of sense. And that's my overall breakdown here, guys. Looks like we have 8 likes. If you could please take a second to leave a like on the stream if you're enjoying it, that would be greatly appreciated. Trying to get to 20 likes per stream. And yeah, answer any questions you guys have. Alperin Sagan, okay value play, Self says. Yeah, I don't really think that I'm too interested in Sagan, to be honest. I think that he's going to be kind of not getting quite as few minutes as some of these other guys that we talked about at the guard and forward positions. And there's some other guys I think in his price range that I'd much rather go to on the slate, so that's probably a no for me. Like, my favorite guys on the Houston side of things by far are Garrison Matthews and Armani Brooks at their price tags. So those two guys would be where I'd be looking to in that price range. So yeah, that'd be my answer there. If you are playing on DraftKings, hopefully you are. If you're playing on FanDuel or DraftKings, and you need to tell me what type of format you're playing on, and I'll give you the best answer that I can. Carter Robinson says, I really like how you read the comments and answer all questions people to give you, man. This is great. I'll definitely be back. Yeah, Carter, no problem, man. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. I appreciate your support. And, yeah, always here to help out. So, yeah, for guys that are playing FanDuel, certainly ask me questions. We went over the DraftKings slate, so let's just look at FanDuel, some pricing discrepancies, and figure out if there's anything that's really standing out to me. As always, trying to help you guys out that play over on FanDuel as well. So, looking at the FanDuel price tag, the first guy that stands out to me is going to be Armani Brooks. I talked about him a lot over on DraftKings as well, but with these guys all being out, I just think that it's really easy to be getting some Armani Brooks in our lineups, and he's kind of a no-brainer play on both websites. There's no Eric Gordon as well, so that's becoming an even easier play now for us to play some Armani Brooks. So he becomes, a great value play. He put up 29, 34 FanDuel points the last 2 times out. I think he continues to produce at a similar rate here. So I'm going to like him. Spencer Dinwiddie, now that there is indeed no Kyle Kuzma, it's going to become a tremendous play over here on FanDuel. Looking at his price tag on this website, only 5.5. So he's certainly someone that I'd be looking to. Spencer Dinwiddie, going to love him. Another guy that we've already talked about, Kyle Lowry, Caleb Martin. Both guys priced very friendly over here on the Miami side of things, so I would be certainly willing to play them in my lineup. So looking at their price tags here, Kyle Lowry only priced at 6.7. That's way too cheap. I talked about liking him for my parlay play pick tonight. I think he scores 36 plus, and at 6.7, that's just not going to get the job done as far as pricing. And Caleb Martin, same rule applies to him over here at 4.9. So he's another guy I would certainly be taking a look to. We talked about liking him on DraftKings. I'm going to like him on FanDuel as well. So Caleb Martin, a great play. Self says, sorry, I meant FanDuel. So on Sagan, I don't think I'd be going to Sagan on FanDuel, man. I don't think you have to go there at all. I think there's a lot of other, much better options. So, if you have a certain salary or something in a position, you can certainly drop it in the chat and I'll help you out. But I don't think I'd be going there. Steven Adams at 5.5, priced very reasonably over here on FanDuel. He's another guy, no issues with you going to Steven Adams either. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty good few guys that I talked about. I mean, Nikola Jokic I like a lot. The center position, we already talked about that. So if you want to pay up for him, obviously I wouldn't mind that whatsoever. But, yeah, that'd be my approach over here on FanDuel, guys. I think we did a pretty good job of covering the slate overall. I'll be hanging around for another 20 minutes or so if you guys have questions. But if not, I might bounce out early. Certainly will answer any questions that you guys have. Keeping our eyes on the injury news. I don't think we've gotten any more injury news since we've been on the stream, but just double check here. Nothing for tonight's. There's some Sunday news coming out, but nothing really too crazy. The Claw says, what's the point of being a member if you're not going to read the questions in Discord or stream? I don't know what you're talking about, The Claw. I think I do a pretty good job answering your questions, man. So I'm not too sure what you're talking about. I know you've been on these streams a lot, and I feel like I always answer your questions. I got 16,500 remaining positions open are small forward and power forward. All right, so on FanDuel, I can help you out with that. Small forward and power forward. Let's see, some of my top guys. Well, I certainly like Tobias Harris at 7.5. You said you have 16,500 remaining positions open are small forward and power forward. Yeah, so in the mid-range, Harrison Barnes is a pretty good play at 6K at the small forward position, so I certainly like him. I like Dylan Brooks a lot at 6'1". We talked about, I like a lot of these Grizzlies guys over here on FanDuel because you know, the Jaren Jackson Jr. is expected to be out. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry, couldn't think it. But Jaren Jackson Jr. is expected to be out, so they're going to get a big bump up. So I think that he's going to be a great play as well. Dylan Brooks. I talked about Tobias Harris. Your other open position is the power forward position. Some power forwards that I like. Denny Avdija is a good value play from the Wizards now, so certainly an intriguing play for you. But like I said, I think that Tobias Harris is a pretty intriguing play at the power forward position. I also think that Evan Mobley at 7.5 is priced pretty reasonably, so if you want to go there. So hopefully that answers the question. There's some decent options for you. Let's see here. Water Levine, yeah, I already answered that, Claw. So I like both those picks. I think you're in the right position here. Anthony says, favorite prize picks. Yeah, so Anthony, the show's sponsored by Parlay Play. If you're not familiar with the format, you can go ahead and check it out over here, man. It's similar to Prize Picks, a little bit different, but for my favorite pick tonight, I have this thing called the KJK DFS Parlay Play Bankroll Challenge. My two favorite picks are the over for Kyle Lowry, the over for Lonzo Ball. Over 26.5 for Kyle Lowry, over 27.5 for Lonzo Ball. Absolutely love this pick. I've been typically doing $5 entries over here, and tonight I'm ramping it up to $25. I'm so confident in this. So if you're interested in Parlay Play, you can go ahead and check it out. Click the link in the chat. And I'm definitely going to like these guys a lot. So to answer your question, Anthony, I like the over for Kyle Lowry a lot. I like the over for Lonzo Ball a lot. And I'm not sure what the line is on Prize Picks, but I know specifically on Parlay Play, for parlay points, they've got them projected, or they've got the line at 26.5 for Lowry, 27.5 for Lonzo Ball, which I think is just far too cheap because I got these guys projected for about 36. So I've already gone ahead and placed my entry in for the over on both of those guys. And yeah, click that link in the chat to get the free $50 match deposit when you deposit today, or you can use my code KJK003. But if you go ahead and just click that link in the chat, man, it'll automatically use that code. You get your first deposit match up to $50. You also get a free $10 risk-free to enter some picks. So and he says, thanks, bro. I'm going to check it out. Yeah, Anthony, would highly recommend it. I'm really enjoying it, man. We hit one last night. I don't know if you've been, I know we've kind of connected on Twitter a little bit. I don't know if you've been following, but we hit one last night where we 10x'd our money. So I was able to hit, I picked 4 guys and hit all of them, and we 10x'd our money. So stay tuned. I'll be having picks on the channel every day for Parlay Play. So if you get an account, we're going to give you some picks every day and continue to win you some money, Anthony. So thank you for tuning into the stream, man. Looks like we got 17 people in here, only 9 likes. So if you could take a second to hit that like button, that would be greatly appreciated, guys. I'll be hanging out for another 20 minutes or so to answer your questions if we have any more. It looks like things are kind of dying down here. So I might be headed out a little bit earlier. But I hope you did enjoy the stream. And if you did, let me know by hitting that like button. The Claw says, are you not getting my question? Yeah, I didn't get that question, man. So that's probably what's going on. Sometimes there's a delay in the chat, too. Like, I can put settings on where one person can't just spam the chats 20 times so that it gives everyone a chance to ask a question. So I appreciate your support. I'm not trying to ignore you or anything. Trust me. I will certainly help you out, man. I'm not trying to ignore you. Are you... Okay, so you have Derek White, Desmond Bane, Draymond Green, Jakob Poeltl, Mobley, and Tate. And I know that you play on DraftKings. So going over to DraftKings here, as far as my favorite play for those guys is concerned, I would have to say that Desmond Bane, because Desmond Bane's going to get a big bump up in, yeah, and it definitely didn't come through in the chat, man. I didn't see this question, so just to let you know, it didn't come through. But Desmond Bane, I think, has a big ceiling in this game. Houston's really not that great defensively. The Memphis Grizzlies are dealing with some injuries. And I'm certainly going to like Desmond Bane a lot. So that'd be my answer there. Going to like him a lot. And yeah, that'd be my answer there. Like him a lot. And it looks like we got a super chat from the Claw. $5. Thank you, Claw. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate your support. Yeah, I'm not trying to ignore you. I get your frustration. You do show a lot of support on the channel. You're a premium member, and you are a KJK DFS fan club member. He's got the nice green text with the KJK DFS logo next to his name, so that's making you look nice. And you do get top priorities for answering questions for that. So I don't mean to ignore you. I do appreciate your support, and thank you for the super chat. Just know I got a lot of stuff going on. But if you want to become a KJK DFS premium member, Claw, also you can. I don't know if you're interested, but it's $19.99 a month. You get access to my premium NBA projections, my core plays, my NBA data sheets. That's like the best way to get dialed into my picks for the night. I'm going to give you my core plays every single night. So I'll give you a little bit of a preview here behind the screens. Like this is obviously before it's filled out, but for FanDuel and DraftKings, you get my guard core, forward core, center core. And oftentimes I'm in the Discord right before lock because that seems to be when people are scrambling around asking questions about, you know, what they should change about their lineups and that kind of thing. So just keep that in mind if you are interested. If not, no worries. You show plenty of support as is, but that'll make it so that it's very clear what my core is. You know the top guys that I'm going to on the slate. And you should be able to make that money back really quickly. And more importantly, you get access to the projections. NBA is all about projection, guys. I've got a nice projection multiplier metric over here. And I know the current Patreon members really like it. Patrick says, Jokic or Embiid on FanDuel? Definitely Jokic, man. Not even close. I like Jokic a lot more tonight, so that'd be my pick there. The Claw says, Lowry or Hero? If I had to go with one of them, I'd certainly go with Lowry. I do like both of them, though. But if I had to go with one, I'd go with Lowry. So, yeah, guys, we did a pretty good job of wrapping up this slate. I think I'm going to go ahead and head out. If you have any more last-minute urgent questions, please ask them now. I'm going to hang around for like another minute or so. And, I mean, if you have a lot of more questions, I'll hang around for even longer. Typically, I'll stream for an hour, hang out till 6:30. But I got to head on over to the Patreon, my premium content, answer questions in the Discord, update my core plays, update my projections, all of that fun stuff. So I got to get out of here sooner rather than later. The Claw says, Lowry or Ball? I'd still go with Lowry. Well, actually, you know what? That one depends on the website. I'd probably go with Ball on DraftKings, which I know you play on. But, yeah. Self says, what's the minimum entry for Parlay Play? I know Prize Picks is $5 and Monkey Knife Fight is $2. Parlay Play, the minimum entry is... I'll tell you that right now. I believe it is $2. We're going to go ahead and just click on the entry that I had here. Heat versus Bulls with the 2 picks. You scroll down. It's $1. So $1 is the minimal. So you can't go down to $1. $1 entry fee is the minimal. You can do 1, 3, 5, 10, 20, or 25. And then there's all different sorts of different game formats too. You can do more or less. Hit it is where you have to guess like a specific part for a player. And if you enter that, you can win like a bunch for your prizes. Like if you get both correct, the exact, you get 6x your payout. That's a lot more difficult, obviously, than the over/under. I mean, the more or less format is going to be a little bit easier. You can do 4 picks for a 10 times payout. That's what we did last night. We nailed all 4, so we were able to turn $5 into $50 on the Parlay Play Bankroll Challenge. So there's all sorts of different formats, man. And make sure you use that promo code KJK003 or my link, which I'm going to put in the chat again for you. You will get that instant match deposit up to $50. And, yeah, hopefully I was able to answer your question. The Claw says, Bane or Derek White? Is Bane a must-play? Bane's not a must-play. On DraftKings, he's priced up, but I think it's a good play. And... Bane or White, I like White more for an upside aspect at his price tag because he's a lot cheaper. He's only 6'5" compared to 7'2". So I'd go with Derek White based on the price tag. All right, guys, but that's all for me. I got to get out of here. I'm going to go into the Discord chat and answer any questions from my premium members. I got to update my projections, all of that fun stuff. So I'm going to bounce out. If you enjoyed the live stream, if you could please take a second to leave that like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Would be greatly appreciated. I wish you guys all the best of luck tonight, and I'm going to get out of here. So, peace.